256 players, 6 epic days and 1 brilliant champion. Plenty from the Party Poker US Open 9-Ball Championship for Karl and I to look back on in May's Off the Rail. What a Party Poker US Open we witnessed last month in Las Vegas. Karl, it was a brilliant tournament, Matchroom's first time, and it lived up to expectations.
Yeah, I think it was a huge success, and I think everyone that tuned in around the world and all the players, I think they'll all say the same, and it was such a big spectacle, and I think Matchroom did a fantastic job.
We started with 3 days of double elimination, getting the 256 players down to 16. It was a seeded format, but with 256 players and so many of the world's best there, it really was felt like a bit of a lottery. Anyone could have got to that last 16.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of, top pool players, big major winner champions, world champions, former US Open champions, probably 40 or 50 players who've won big tournaments all around over the seasons. So you're never quite sure who's going to qualify, but obviously there's always going to be some heartache, and obviously, the big guys will make it through. And
with such an elite field, some really difficult matches for all the players. Just take our champion Josh Filler as an example. He loses to Sukai Lun. He has to win 3 matches on the loser's side. He comes past Alex Kazakis, Petri Makinen and Albin Alshan just to make it to the last 16. Yeah, that's always the case. Sometimes, some players on paper look like they've had an easier route, a bit like Jason Shaw. On paper, it was quite easy for him. As well as you said, Joshua Filler come through that tough sort of route, and it made him more sort of match sharp and up for the challenge. And of course, they drew each other in the last 16. And at that stage, the tournament moved to the Matchroom Arena, the Diamond Arena at Mandalay Bay. The usual setup we're used to seeing from Matchroom, it looked spectacular, but the way the draw worked out with some top players coming from the loser's side, we got 2 key last 16 matches in particular. At the top of the draw, we had Jason Shaw against Joshua Filler, and at the bottom half, we had Shane Van Bonen against Wu Jiaqing. Yeah, they were the standout matches, like you said. Obviously, the last 16 had done, the losers had gone home. We had our final 16, single elimination. And when the draw was made, as you said, you had Filler and Shaw at the top, and Wu and Shane Van Bonen going for his 6th title at the bottom. And even in the arena, and I was speaking to yourselves or Ted and the other commentators, you felt like the winner were going to come from the top or the bottom, and of course it did. And in that last 16, plenty of Asian representation as well. Talk about the Filipino players first of all, because pre-tournament a lot of people fancied we might see a Filipino winner, the likes of Dennis Orcolo, Carlo Biada, but it was Jeff DeLuna who was left flying the flag. Yeah, I think Jeffrey's sort of coming of age now. In the last few years, he's been getting invites into Matchroom events, the World Pool Masters, and in that type of arena, it sets you up for, you've got the experience, and, he's really come of age, like I said, and Orcolo and Pagalayan also made it through, quite deep, no stranger to the big arena, so, I think it was a kind of a bit of a letdown for, some of the big Filipinos, like Biado and Orcolo, but the field is that strong, it's just so tough. And then in the quarterfinals, Luo Hai Tao, Chang Yulong, epic match, finishes 11-10, goes hill, and Chang Yulong pulls off that epic shot late in the match as well. Yeah, I mean, obviously it was like a fantastic shot. I was actually commentating on that shot. I got a little bit excited. It's not like a real big deal type thing, because it weren't at the end of the match or it weren't hill, but it was just an exciting shot, and that's the type of thing Chang Yulong can do. And with Wu Jiaqing, I think we all knew after he'd beaten Shane, he had a great chance of getting to the final. He plays a fellow Chinese player in the quarterfinals, Wang Can, who doesn't make a ball in the whole match. Have you ever seen that, especially the quarterfinal of a major event like this before? No, I've never seen that in my life. On the TV, like you said, in the previous pool tournaments run by Matchroom, I've never seen nobody not make a ball. In practice or in some of the club events we might play in, somebody might run a set out, but even that's very rare. But to not make one ball, that's incredible, really. And it's credit to Wu Jiaqing, because he ran a lot of racks there. Wang Can does get a little chance at the very end of the match, but by that point he's down and out. It's 10-0. What can you do? Credit to Wu for his performance in that one. Yeah, he was phenomenal, and it set up for a great final, to be fair, and it was a great final. So race to 13 for the final, as it has been for a long time at the US Open, and it went neck and neck a lot of the way. Both players had leads at stages and had runs where they ran racks, but Filler and Wu both played brilliantly all week, and especially in that final. Yeah, I think Wu got off to, he went 3-0 up, he got off to a fantastic start, he looked really controlled, he was breaking brilliant, and out of the next 4 or 5 racks, he missed a couple of chances to get a big lead, and Filler did what he kept doing all week,
plays on instinct, probably the best instinct pool player I've ever seen. Just sees the shot, plays it, and it's usually the right shot. And he got back in the match, and he ended up getting the lead, and he got the win. And at the end, we were going to see it get even closer. Obviously, the World 9 Ball, the previous multi-table Matchroom event, Wu Jiaqing run the last 5 racks to win the World 9 Ball, and we actually thought, can he do it again? And obviously, when he fouled, he gave Phil a ball in hand and a great opportunity to win his first US Open.
We'll take a look at that foul in a moment and just what went wrong for Wu. But we were thinking, weren't we, when Phil gets to the hill and then he loses control of the table, we thought Wu can run these last few racks to win the tournament here. And he ran the last couple and was looking in good shape at the time.
Yeah, definitely. He's done it before. And if you've done it before, you know how to do it, don't you? So myself and Ted was in the booth for the end of that match, and we were getting excited. We're like, can he do it again? And then, as we said, just that crazy foul, just all Joshua wanted, just another chance, and he got ball in hand. And I thought Joshua was a deserved winner. Didn't really miss many balls over the full course of the event. And as I said, he scares opponents, you know, the speed he plays, and he just doesn't miss.
We're talking about the best players in the world on the biggest stage in the world. A word on the referee, Nigel Rees, because to spot that foul as well, he was in the right position at the right time and called it calm as you like, knowing he's giving ball in hand to Josh Filler to potentially run out for the match there. A great call from Nigel.
Yeah, Nigel, without doubt, probably the best pool ref we've got. And I can't remember if it was myself or Ted, but we'd seen Wu's hand slip into the pocket. I was like, oh, his hand's just slipped. Next thing, Nigel's picking the cue ball up. And as we all saw on the replay, the shaft of his cue just touched the ball, so heartache in the end.
Well, we'll take a look in just a moment at how Wu might have been able to avoid making that foul, but first let's remind ourselves of that moment when he gives ball in hand to Josh Filler.
This is a nasty shot. Position on the 2 ball is guaranteed.
Ball
I'll
in
tell
hand.
you what, he nearly...
Oh, he fouled.
He fouled! What has he done there? He's put his hand on the table and it slipped. I didn't know he'd hit the 4.
Stop
I
the
could
clock,
see
please.
his hand slip. What drama? What has he done there? Wow.
No way. We have to take a very close look
Settle down,
at
please.
that.
Ted, watch his hand. I thought he'd slipped. Watch his bridge hand here. Wow.
Oh, he touched the...
So, Karl, we've set up the shot now here. If you're Wu Jiaqing, what have you done wrong? What could you do differently next time to avoid the same result?
Well, I think rule number 1 is when you're playing cue sports, you know, you need a solid bridge hand. As you can see where the balls have landed, they landed in a funny spot off the break. It's 12-10, it's the final US Open. This is, you know, his heart's going. And for me, he still rushed the shot. It's very awkward cue, and as I said, he knows he's not going to have a solid bridge hand. And when you look back at what he's done, is he's left-handed, I'm right-handed, so you know it is a little bit different. But he's got straight down with the cue on his bridge hand. The fingers fell in the middle pocket, and the cue's touched the ball. Nigel Rees spots it. It's a foul. He's lost the tournament. As where I think for me personally, I'd try and like do it without the cue. You know, and I think, do I want to play it in the middle? Do I want to play it in the top? Once I've made my mind up, I'll be like, right, yeah, I found a solid bridge. Because he didn't and he had the cue, it just he went, didn't he? That's where I'd be like, trying to find my solid bridge. Yeah, I've got it, and then I can address the shot. And I think it's like such a big mistake at the top level. We've all done it, don't get me wrong. I missed one of the easiest balls ever in a Matchroom event. But when I look back, it's about gaining the experience, and he's a very experienced player. I just think at that moment, he rushed it. Maybe he was just trying to play the shot as quick as he can, natural, keep the flow, but it was a horrendous shot, and what a way to lose the final.
And of course, that gives Josh Filler ball in hand. He then wins the title. It's his first US Open, but he's now world #1, world champion. He looks set to be on the Mosconi Cup team as well again this year. He's so young, he's 21. Josh Filler could win multiple major titles, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's world 9-ball champion, US Open champion. How many can he get? You know, we know Shane Van Bonen's got 5. Doesn't have the world title, Shane, so that's one that he'll be desperate to get. And he's 21. In the next 10 years, he'll only be 31. How many can he tally up?
Well, our next event at Matchroom Multisport is the World Cup Pool. We'll be in Leicester from June 25 to 30. Josh Filler will be there. He's on Team Germany with Ralph Souquet. Karl and I will be back for more Off the Rail during the World Cup Pool, so do join us for that.